I learned this in Texas, and it completely changed the way I look at traditional cooking. Texas has always been known for its bold flavors, hearty meals, and deep food traditions that go back generations. From ranch kitchens to small-town diners, the cooking style in Texas is built on simplicity, strong ingredients, and a lot of patience. The first time I saw this method being used was in a small rural kitchen just outside a quiet Texas town. The cook, an older rancher who had spent most of his life working cattle and cooking for large groups of people, showed me how something simple could turn into a deeply satisfying meal. Texas cooking often reflects the history of the land. Early settlers, cowboys, ranchers, and immigrants all contributed to the foods people still enjoy today. Mexican, Southern, and frontier influences blended together over time, creating a unique food culture that you can't find anywhere else. One of the most important lessons I learned that day was how much flavor can come from slow cooking. Texans understand that good food takes time. Instead of rushing through a recipe, they allow the ingredients to slowly develop rich flavors. The process started with a large cast iron pot sitting over a low flame. Cast iron cookware has always been popular in Texas because it distributes heat evenly and can handle long cooking times. The cook carefully added each ingredient one by one, explaining how every step mattered. He talked about how his grandparents used the same cooking style decades earlier. Back then, many families cooked outdoors or over simple stoves, using whatever ingredients they had available. Meals needed to be filling and flavorful because people were working long, demanding days on farms and ranches. As the food slowly simmered, the kitchen filled with the deep, comforting smell of spices and cooked meat. It was the kind of aroma that instantly makes you feel at home. Texas cooking has that effect on people. It brings warmth and comfort with every bite. Another thing I noticed was how relaxed the cooking process felt. There was no rush, no complicated techniques, just a calm rhythm of stirring, tasting, and adjusting the flavors as the dish cooked. The rancher explained that the secret wasn't fancy ingredients, but understanding how food changes with heat and time. When you let flavors slowly blend together, the result becomes richer and more satisfying. By the time the dish was finished, it had transformed from a few simple ingredients into a hearty Texas-style meal that could easily feed a hungry group of people. That experience taught me something important. Sometimes the best cooking lessons don't come from fancy restaurants or professional chefs. They come from everyday people who have spent years perfecting simple techniques passed down through generations. And that's exactly what Texas cooking represents: tradition, patience, and the kind of food that brings people together around the table. I learned this in Texas during a trip that I originally thought would just be about travel and sightseeing. Instead, it turned into one of the most memorable cooking lessons I've ever experienced. Texas has a rich food culture that blends many influences. Cowboys, ranch families, Mexican traditions, and Southern cooking styles all play a role in shaping what people eat here. The result is a cuisine that feels bold, comforting, and deeply connected to the land. The lesson began in a rustic outdoor kitchen behind a ranch house. The cook explained that Texas food is often about feeding large groups of people with ingredients that are easy to prepare and cook slowly. Large pots, heavy pans, and open flames are common tools in Texas cooking. Instead of small portions, meals are designed to satisfy hardworking people who spend their days outdoors. The cook started by preparing a few simple ingredients. There were no complicated steps or fancy equipment. Everything felt natural and practical, just the way ranch cooks have done it for generations. One of the most interesting parts of the process was the patience involved. Instead of rushing, the cook let the ingredients slowly develop their flavors over time. This slow cooking approach allows spices, meats, and vegetables to blend together perfectly. As the dish simmered, stories about Texas history and ranch life filled the air. Food here isn't just about eating, it's about tradition and storytelling. Every recipe seems to carry memories from earlier generations. I was told that many of these cooking techniques were learned from parents and grandparents who lived through difficult times when resources were limited. People had to be creative and make the most of what they had. Because of that, Texas cooking often focuses on hearty, reliable ingredients that can feed many people without wasting anything. Watching the process unfold made me realize that the real magic wasn't just the recipe itself. It was the knowledge behind it, the understanding of heat, flavor, and timing that only comes from years of experience. When the meal was finally ready, it was incredibly satisfying. The flavors were rich and balanced, and the food had a comforting, homemade quality that's hard to replicate in modern kitchens. That day, I didn't just learn a recipe. I learned a piece of Texas culture and the importance of preserving traditional cooking methods that have stood the test of time. I learned this in Texas while visiting a quiet ranch where traditional cooking was still practiced the old-fashioned way. What started as a simple conversation about food quickly turned into a fascinating lesson about Texas culinary heritage. Texas is famous for its big flavors and generous portions, but behind those bold meals is a deep history shaped by ranch life, frontier survival, and diverse cultural influences. The cook who taught me this method explained that many Texas recipes were designed for practicality. Ranch workers needed meals that were filling, easy to prepare, and capable of feeding large groups. Cooking often happened outdoors or in simple kitchens using durable cookware like cast iron skillets and heavy pots. The recipe I watched being prepared followed this same philosophy. Simple ingredients were carefully combined and slowly cooked over steady heat. One of the most interesting parts of the process was how much attention was given to timing. Texas cooks understand that great food develops slowly. Instead of rushing through the steps, each stage of cooking was given enough time for flavors to deepen and ingredients to soften. As the food simmered, the cook shared stories about how his family had used similar recipes for generations. Many of these dishes were originally created during times when food had to last for long days of hard work. Meals needed to provide energy and comfort at the same time. The smell that filled the kitchen as the dish cooked was incredible. Rich, savory aromas slowly spread through the air, making it impossible not to feel hungry. By the time the meal was ready, it was clear why this cooking style had survived for so long. The flavors were bold but balanced, and the dish felt both simple and deeply satisfying. Learning this method in Texas gave me a new appreciation for traditional cooking and the wisdom behind recipes that have been passed down through generations.